Welcome back to What Are Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a Renault Otsu. It's a tier 1 Japanese light tank. It's located on the south spawn of Ensk and it's under the command of the TheCrazyPlatypus. Yes, we decided to stir things up a little with a bit of tier 1 action.
Time to roll out.
And we've got no sound. Yeah, but I'm not going to change that because we do get the sound effects even if we don't get the engine noise. But if we do try and run this with or reset it to try and get the engine noises, we lose the tracks. And well, pays your money, takes your choices. I think we'd rather have the tracks than we'd actually have the engine noises, because it just kind of looks unrealistic when we hear the engines, because they don't rev up or change anyway. This is, as I said, the Renault Otsu tier 1. It's basically one of 10 light tanks that the Japanese bought from the French, derived from the FT-17. It's the Japanese version of their tank, and they bought them or developed them between 1925 and 1928, and they bought 10 of them in 1929. They were designated the Otsugata Sensha. That was their actual name. Now you've got a choice of two different guns. You can either have a cannon or you have the a 37mm gun, which is not very efficient. It's a terrible gun handling, but if you get the cannon, it's a bit more interesting. Yes, because you can do that sort of thing. It's got decent pen with the cannon. With the gun, it's not so good. You get low pen, but you did get more damage per shot. Yep, well, the TheCrazyPlatypus is having a bit of fun at tier 1. Occasionally it is a good idea to go back to your roots and see if you can play the game at low tiers. Now, there's not many players on either side. In fact, I can tell you that the ones with the semicolon or the colons in front of and behind their names are actually bots, and there's quite a few in this game. In fact, as far as I can see, there's 4 real players in the game. As we see that, I think that's a bot there running away. Now the bots have got a nasty habit of actually changing ammo to premium when they don't get a pen the first time round. So don't think you get it easy with bots. You don't always. Panzer Spy. And she's taken some damage, but she's angling well enough to actually block some of the shots. Yep, she's blocking a few. To say nicely, she's actually racking up quite a lot of block damage there. That AMR 35 is having a bit of difficulty trying to pen, but she doesn't have any difficulty doing the same to him. The reload time is quite long, 6.35 seconds. For mag, and she got a kill. So that's second kill now. Oh, the opposition. Yep, the enemy number, the enemy Renault Otsu. Now there is a weak spot on the front of the vehicle, and the turret is actually weaker than the actual body of the tank. But there's a huge weak spot where the driver sits, the driver's hatch. It's easy to pen there. Got the rear of him here. Doesn't kill him with the first mag, but she'll get him with the second one, I think. Just gotta keep moving around. There you go. So there's only 4 enemies left. She's making her way through them. Oh, Renault FT, he goes. And now we've got a Panzer Spy. Now, is that the same one that tried to hit her earlier? It might be. Well, she's carving her way through these enemies. Oh, took a big hit there, but one shot was all necessary to take out that Panzer Spy. I think you can see, well, she's loaded the gold now to actually make it easier. It's 8 hit points per shot, that's the alpha, and penetration is 23mm. The 37mm will actually do 45 alpha and it's only got 38mm of pen. So yes, you get much more pen with these rounds than with the 37mm, and of course because you've got a magazine firing them, it's a lot easier to get more shots on target. Well, there's only one enemy left. It's a T1 Cunningham, and it's not often that you'll see the Renault Otsu going up against the T1 Cunningham, because the T1 Cunningham has the advantage of that auto cannon, which actually does fire a lot of rounds very, very quickly. Now, the enemy in this one happens to be a bot, so she could come under a bit of problems going after this guy out the field. Now, I actually did confuse the player here with a lady. Hopefully I haven't made that mistake again. Oh, lovely kill. That's a Top Gun to win the game. I think it is a gentleman we're talking about here. Here's the end of battle results, and that was an ace tanker for the TheCrazyPlatypus in the Renault Otsu. In fact, it's the first ace tanker that he's had in that vehicle, so I presume he went back to it after years of not playing it, or this was maybe the first game he ever played in it. And yes, he's managed to get an ace tanker straight away. Got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points in his own vehicle. Sharpshooter for getting 10 or more consecutive shots on the enemy. An arsonist because he set light to one of the enemy tanks and it burned up. He also got a shell-proof for blocking more damage than hit points to his own vehicle, and he did that by carefully angling. And also a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him. A bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, in this one, he managed to get at least 10 critical hits. And on top of that, he actually managed to pick up some additional medals, including an All-X medal for taking out 2 tanks or tank destroyers with a light tank in one battle, at least 1 tier higher. Spartan for winning the battle, having received a non-penetrating shot from the enemy, less than 10% for his hit points left. And lastly, he got a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills in that game, and his win rate in that battle was 6,719, which is Super Unicum standard and a bit more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, as you can see, only 4 players either side legit. The highest damage in the game actually went to the Panzer Spy. Yep, that was a real player. He managed to get a cool-headed and 912 hit points of damage. Not enough to get a high caliber. You need to be over 1,000 hit points to do that. The second highest damage went to the T3 HMC, 791 hit points to him. And the third highest damage in the game went to the TheCrazyPlatypus with 599. When it came to kills, though, it was the TheCrazyPlatypus. 6 kills to him, 4 kills to the Panzer Spy, and then 1 kills for everyone else except maybe these 2. The T1 and the 4TP didn't get any kills at all. And when it came to base XP, yep, the TheCrazyPlatypus gets that one for 579. 411 goes to the Panzer Spy, and 368 went to the T3 HMC. Fired 200 rounds in that game, 131 direct hits on the enemy, but only 74 penetrations. He did start using the standard ammo, but then obviously he wasn't getting the desired effects, and he wanted to win the battle and get it over and done with quickly, which is why he switched to the armor-piercing composite rigid instead, the gold. 599 hit points of damage, all of it done at close range. 37 hits received from the enemy, only 10 of which actually penetrated. 27 non-penetrations and 508 hit points of damage blocked by armor. He did spot 1 enemy vehicle, damage 6 of the enemy, kill 6 of the enemy, and he earned 6,679 credits from the game on a free-to-play account. But look at that ammo cost, yeah, very expensive, 80,000 credits, mostly down to the fact that he was firing premium, and he actually ended the game with a loss of 73,321 credits, but he did get an ace tanker out of it. 579 base XP, no multipliers, that's all the experience points he took away. So a very brief battle in the Renault Otsu. I suggest actually it's a good idea just to take out a tier 1 tank and see, can you handle it as well as you did when you first started the game. A lot of players, they neglect the tier 1 tanks, mainly because I suppose they feel that they don't want to go into a tier 1 game and seal club. And I can understand that really in a sense, because you don't want to put off players who've just joined the game by using your skills to actually outwit them by angling as the Crazy Platypus did. But occasionally it does actually pay to go back and say, you know, was I doing things correctly when I played this tier 1? And if I wasn't, you know, have I actually improved in my abilities? So yes, it's worth taking these things back out again just to see what you can actually do with them. And in some cases, especially if you've got a lot of really good players all purposely gone into a battle to fight it out amongst themselves using the basic tier 1 tanks, that can be a lot of fun as well. And although that has to be arranged with a lot of other people like-minded to do it at the same time. I remember on What Arty Noobs, we actually took out a load of tier 2 Arties. Everybody had a tier 2 Arty in the game, and it was the funniest thing you've ever seen. Tier 2 Arties taking out other tier 2 Arties at fairly close range with shotguns all over the battlefield, especially when you were in a battlefield that you normally did not see tier 2 Arties in. But it's very rare to see, well, it's impossible in the game to see a standard random game with everyone driving an Arty. But it's very funny when you do get them like that. So thanks for the Crazy Platypus for sending in this replay. It's a little out of the ordinary, and it was interesting. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.